The government of Somalia and the United Nations are seeking more than $1 billion to address a climate-related crisis as locusts continue to cause devastation in most regions of the country. CGTN's Abdulaziz Billow has more details from Mogadishu.
Yusuf Haji is chasing away locusts that have invaded his farm in central Somalia. Swarms of desert locusts have descended on farms in the town of Billow for the third time in less than a year, destroying crops and other vegetation.
We use flames and smoke from burning tires to chase away the locusts. We also use empty tins to make noise, but the locusts are not going anywhere. We are appealing for help. We've heard of aerial spraying being done, but the service has not reached us. We lost our previous harvest. We do not want to suffer again.
The situation is worse for Mohammed Abdi, who lives in the same area as Yusuf. Young hoppers unable to fly have ravaged his entire farm, leaving him with nothing to harvest.
A swarm of locusts has destroyed my tomatoes, pepper and pawpaw. The locusts move occasionally, but they return once there is something that they can eat on our farms.
The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization has warned that poor rainfall, flooding and desert locusts are contributing to extreme food insecurity in Somalia. Up to 2.6 million people have been affected.
Food insecurity is expected to worsen, driven by the effects of localized floods, below average rainfall, and a worsening desert locust infestation with an estimated 2.7 million people expected to face crisis or emergency levels of food insecurity by mid-2021.
The federal government and the United Nations have appealed for more than $1 billion in humanitarian assistance as a climate-related crisis continues to affect millions across the country.
The 2021 HRP aims to assist 4 million people with humanitarian aid, including IDPs, refugees, and returnees. The plan requires $1.09 billion, a slight increase from the $1.01 billion requested in 2020.
Heavy rainfall is expected later in April, and authorities are concerned that it will cause flooding, especially in riparian areas. Mogadishu has declared a second state of emergency more than a year after a swarm of desert locusts first arrived in the country. Locals are now reporting new sightings of swarms in new areas, further affecting government's efforts of combating the crop-eating insects. Abdulaziz Billow, CGTN, Mogadishu, Somalia.